Hey you, Laurel Dawn Houston here, and I want to talk to you about connections. Because right now, people keep saying over and over and over that they feel so disconnected. But I want to teach you how to actually connect so that that feeling, that yearning for a connection can actually be met. Because there are a few key pieces that people are missing and not realizing that that's what's causing the problem. We think that it's because we aren't having physical interactions with each other anymore. We're not going into our churches. We're not going into our workplaces. We're not going into parks or theaters or restaurants. We think that because we're not around people, that that's what's causing the disconnection. And so we're trying to figure out ways to connect with social distancing, and it's not working. And I want to explain why so that you can get those connections you're longing for. We as human beings are not meant to be alone. And we crave that connection. We crave a mind-body connection. We crave a spiritual connection, a mental connection, an emotional connection. These are all things that we need to actually feel complete. So this is Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. I did not create this. If you want to know more about Maslow, look him up. You have plenty of time. So Maslow basically said that in order to reach the very top of this pyramid, which is self-actualization. It's just a fancy word for saying you know your purpose, you've found your purpose, and you're working on it. And here's the hard part. So many of us felt like we were there. We felt like we have purpose. We understand what we're supposed to be doing. And that was ripped away from us. And so we're trying to find purpose in our current normal. So let me help you out with that. Because if right now you go straight to the top of the pyramid and you try to find new purpose, or you try to find new successes, or you try to find connection and belonging, but you haven't worked on the bottom of the pyramid, that's why it's not working. So let's start at the bottom. So physical connections. Physical connections are the things that we need to stay alive. These are the first things that our brain thinks about, regardless of the situation. So as soon as we wake up in the morning, our brain starts to scan. Do we need food? Do we need water? Are we breathing? What's the temperature like? Do we need to go to the bathroom? Our mind's first response is to meet our physical needs. So what are they? Food, water, shelter, air. Are you breathing? Temperature, hygiene, things that keep us in good physical health. Once you have gotten those in a good order, then your brain starts to worry about safety. So safety isn't just, am I going to stay alive because there's no harm around me? Higher levels of safety are things like order, rules, routines, all the things that we're trying to create and haven't been able to. Trust, consistency, security, that's what falls under safety. Then, and only then, once you have those things, once you have trust, once you have consistency, once you have routines and order, then we actually care and can belong and find those connections. So I'm going to pause there for just a moment because some of you are already like, wait, what? So let me say this. If you are working on finding where you belong, if you are working on building those connections, if you are working on wanting to feel loved and supported, you don't actually work on a sense of belonging. The reason you're not finding that is because your sense of safety is missing. You don't have a routine. You're not in order. There is no security. There's no consistency. So I get that. And that's why so many people are having a hard time right now connecting. So whatever you're struggling at, you don't go to that level of the pyramid and work on it. You have to build the foundation first. So let's go all the way down to physical. Because here's the reality. The physical is your foundation. This is why when this all started, people bought mass amounts of food and mass amounts of toilet paper. On an instinctive, subconscious level, their brain knew they needed to take care of their physical needs, hygiene being one of them. You see, hygiene isn't actually part of safety. Hygiene is part of our physical needs being met. So can I tell you how to actually feel more like you belong? Just a small step, one you actually have 100% control over. Your sleep. That's what most Americans are lacking, sleep. Yes, you can improve your water. Yes, you can improve your food. Yes, you can start exercising and build a stronger body. You need more sleep. You need to actually rest and recover while sleeping, not just lay in bed. Work on your sleep, work on your breathing, intentional breathing. Just doing that once a day will help you to move up the pyramid. We're forgetting to breathe. It's a natural response when people are in trauma to hold their breath. Think about it. When you're in pain, what's the first thing you do? You gasp, and then you hold it. This is why when you have a muscle cramp, they say, just breathe through it, just breathe through it. Breathing helps us release. So in your physical needs, look at your hygiene, look at your sleep, look at your breathing, then worry about food, then worry about water. Because if you're mindlessly eating, it's because you haven't paid attention to your sleep and you haven't paid attention to your breathing. And your hygiene is out the window. Well, I don't have to shower. I'm not going anywhere. Take the shower. You have control over how often you shower. This is one of the things that most people are missing right now. They have food, they have water, they have shelter. All right, good. Now, what other physical aspects do you have control over that you can start implementing? Your sleep. Are you sleeping more? Are you sleeping intentionally for rest and recovery? Are you breathing intentionally for rest, recovery, and release? And are you taking care of your physical hygiene? Are you brushing your teeth? Are you washing your hair? Take care of that physical, because once those physical needs are met, then you can get into creating your own sense of safety. Because folks, if you are waiting for the world to help you feel safe, you will wait until the day you die. You are in charge of your safety. You create a routine. You create consistency. Because here's the thing, the people that are still thriving right now have created their own routine. They've gotten a new schedule. They have created their own normal. Now, does that mean they're not having their moments of freak out? Of course they are. But it's not all day and it's not all week. And they are taking time to evaluate and create consistency, to create trust in themselves, in the people around them. Because when trust is missing, when safety is not here, we do not connect, period. So if you are wanting to actually feel a connection with those that you're stuck in a house with, go back to safety, go back to physical. When you have trust, when you have security, when you have routines, when you have order, when you have rules, then we feel like we belong somewhere. But here's what's happening. You have one set of people that feel a certain set of rules will help people feel safe. And you have the opposite extreme where you have those set of rules that are making people feel unsafe. So you need to create your safety. You need to create order in your space, in your head, in your mind, in your heart, in your body. You create the order that you can maintain regardless of what's going on around you. When you are in order, then you belong. You can have those connections, even with people who are 4,000 miles away. When you have that sense of trust, you let new things come in to build you. And then and only then do we have successes. And when we start to have success, we get to self-actualization. We get to the point where people say to us, how did you do that? That's what I want for all of us in this time of chaos. I want you to find purpose again. I want you to have successes, to have those connections we're yearning for, we're longing for. Because the reality is, we weren't any more disconnected before than we are now. It's just easier to see. If you want connection, build trust, create order, make a routine for yourself. Those things are easy to do when your physical needs are met. This works. I have helped hundreds of people find these upper levels of the pyramid. And I have to tell you this, there's more than one pyramid, because every time you level up, you start over. So imagine another pyramid right here, starting again with your physical needs and then safety. Or down here with physical needs and safety, because some of you are on a pyramid down here. You're not sleeping, you're barely eating, you're living off of caffeine and alcohol. You are, and that's your foundation. So what does your safety look like? You have rules, and they are around being guarded. They are around pushing people away. They are around keeping you shut off and closed. And then you wonder why you don't know, why you can't connect to the people that you are spending hundreds of hours with. When you have your physical needs being met on a lower level, the entire pyramid is met on a lower level. So if you want these upper level pyramids, you start with your physical needs one step above where you currently are. So if right now you're mindlessly eating, have at least one meal a day with intention and nutrition. I'm not asking you to go from the bottom to the top. If you weren't previously eating a whole food, vegetarian or vegan diet, now's not the time to start it. One level. Be intentional with your sleep. Be intentional with your eating. Be intentional with your breathing. It creates safety. That safety, and only when you have safety, will you actually feel the connections and sense of belonging that we are all yearning for in this time. I pray for you. I love you. I hope this helps you. Thank you for watching.